Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. This week, we're going to be talking about the most controversial movie at the moment, Joker 2, Folie. Is it good? Is it bad? How is it compared to the first one? Let's take a deep dive. I just saw it, and I have mixed reviews. I know the internet may be singing a different tune right now, but it's not all that bad. I mean, review bombing the movie, and it's only been out for like 3 days. We all know how this usually goes. Obviously, it's nothing like the first movie at all. I don't know if anybody had misconceptions about it being the same tone, but it's not. It's literally a musical. They told us this 3 years ago. It's definitely glimpses that I would say take reference from the first movie as far as the tone, but it's different. It's completely different. I think it being a musical adds like a new introduction into Arthur's psyche since this is the second movie. And that's kind of the only defining factor that they try to use to build a plot in this one. That is a huge downfall. I think we all magically forgot that this movie was going to be a musical in the first place, and it's affecting what people thought they were going to get out of the film. I think that is the main pushback on the internet that I'm seeing right now. And I understand it, but also it's a new movie, so we all won't understand it immediately. It's gonna take a couple watches. I love musicals, but I didn't like the fact that they added a musical scene in some of the most odd times instead of letting the dialogue do the heavy lifting. I think the bridge between music and mental illness was a great connection, and it made sense to go in that direction if you wanted this movie to be its own thing. It suffers a lot right now, what I'm seeing as far as reviews, with it trying to be better than the first one, and it seems like that's going to be a hard task to do because none of us expected the first one to be as good as it was. It's basically an iconic movie at this point. I do think this movie will slowly gain respect and popularity, but at the moment, the hate train is pretty heavy. Joaquin's been into some bullshit. I don't really know what goes on around Lady Gaga, but Todd Phillips, he's up and down, so I don't know. We should be happy that we got at least one gem out of the three of them, to be honest. Lady Gaga stole the show. I mean, she definitely was like the only actor that I could think of that could pull this off. Lady Gaga was definitely a standout performer in this movie. She needs her flowers. Yes, yes, yes. She definitely was the only actor in my mind that could have pulled this off. I mean, the character is complex as Lee, aka Harley Quinn. The characters are based on DC Comics. That diminishes it a little bit. But I mean, I'm not getting into any spoilers, but these characters are based on DC Comics. Now let's get down to the fucking nitty gritty. The story doesn't move the needle too much in terms of character development. We just get more context on what we saw in The Joker, the first movie, making it Joker 1.5. We're just getting a little mental backstory, more supporting factors onto why he acted the way in the first movie that he did, but we don't really get a new story in this movie. All the actors involved, solid performances with the script that Todd Phillips could conjure, but I do feel it's missing a lot of elements. It's almost like three genres of movies, which can be great, but also it can feel like a lot being thrown at you, so you can never settle into a tone for the movie. And I think it being a musical saves them from that factor. Obviously, I'm not going to spoil anything, but the ending will be the most controversial display that I've seen in a DC movie since I was born, I guess. I mean, this is pretty good now that I'm thinking about it more in depth. I think a lot of people expected it to be a certain way, and it's just not that movie. I'm giving the movie a 3.5 out of 5 right now. I probably don't understand how good it is, but the story literally doesn't do anything for me, and we don't learn anything besides Arthur's past traumas. There's a lot of head turning moments and scenes in the movie, and Lee and Arthur's relationship taking place in Arkham Asylum was very nice to see on screen. But if it's a Joker movie, and the people that will come out to go see this movie based on the name, I know that these characters are based on DC characters, but people want to see the Clown Prince. So that was instantly going to kill it if it didn't satisfy the comic book fans. And that's what it's doing right now. I mean, Todd Phillips basically just went out and said publicly that he's done with the DC universe. That literally was like announced as soon as I walked out of the movie theater. So it's a polarizing film, good or bad. We'll come back to this one in a couple years. The courtroom scenes, they were great, honestly. It could have been a whole movie in a courtroom just based on how sick Arthur's mind is. I think people are forgetting that this is mental illness, not a villain that we're following. So the ending is going to rub people wrong. I'm just going to say it. The musical elements are actually a good touch, but I don't like some of the scenes that they happen in because it could have conveyed more being acted out. Like, there are a few scenes where your attention is grabbed because the movie is shot beautifully, but they start singing. And I love musicals. I mean, I like music and everything, but I would like the dialogue at that moment. It's gonna be a 50-50 type of movie until people start posting on Tumblr or some shit. I don't know. I'm one of the people that liked it, kind of, but I can see how people wouldn't like it. If you can go watch this movie, go to your local theater, give it a try, hit my comment, let me know what you thought of it. I'm on Letterboxd. I'm gonna write a review about it soon. Like and subscribe. I appreciate you all. Have a good one.